Welcome to another Lessons with Lemmon. Today is episode 5 of my beginner series, and we're going to talk today about long chips where you've got lots of green to work with, what club to use, how to hit it, the stance, the grip, all of that. Let's get started. How many times have you found yourself just off the green? You've either left it short on a par 4, or maybe a par 5 that you're going for 2 didn't quite get to the green. Well, this shot that I've got right here, we've got about 30 or 40 feet to the pin. We've got a decent lie just off the green. We've got about like 5 or 10 feet of green, so we can't actually putt it. Now, if we could putt it, I always suggest, especially beginners, use the putter if you can. That's one of the best clubs to use if you can get it through there. But on this particular shot, we've got a lot of grass to go through, and we want to use a very simple pitch or chip type of shot. Now, the first part of that is picking out what club to use. Now, a lot of kids I teach and people I know are really addicted to their 60-degree wedge. And anytime they have a chip shot from next to the green or off the green, they like to use their 60-degree. On this shot, the 60-degree wedge is probably the worst decision you could make. Not the best club to give you the best chance. I mean, the idea is we want to be on the green, closer to the hole, the better. And if you use a 60-degree, it's just going to go so high and the control is just not there. So what I like to use is something, either a pitching wedge, a 9-iron, or this 8-iron that I have here. Now, there's a couple different parts to hitting the best chip shot that you can. Part of it is making sure that you've checked the lie out. Now, I've got a pretty good lie here. It's pretty simple. There's no grass behind it, so that part's already taken care of. The other part is you want to line yourself up, and what I like to see people do is put their feet closer together. You don't have to be completely close together, like your feet don't have to be completely together. Pretty close together. Put the club or the ball back towards their right foot, put a little bit of their weight forward, and then just take a couple practice swings. And we're not going to be doing any kind of flipping with this shot. We're not going to do any flipping at all. And when I mean flipping, I'm talking about letting the club head pass the hands. Now, if you're hitting a flop shot, which I'm going to do in my next lesson, we'll show you about that. You do kind of want the club to go past the hands. But for a simple chip shot like this, or a pitch shot like this, you want to keep your hands forward, feet like this, ball position towards your back foot, weight this way towards the hole, forward, and then you just want to have this nice simple motion where it's just not very handsy. We don't want to use our hands a whole lot. We just want to have a nice motion where we're just kind of rocking back and forth with our shoulders, and we're trying to hit the ball first. So while I'm doing practice swings, I'm kind of getting a judge of how hard I'm going to have to hit this and how I'm going to hit it depending on where it's lying. And again, this is a very good lie. There's no grass behind it, so it'll be very simple. But what you'll want to do is keep the hands nice and firm. And again, no flipping. And just kind of pull the club through. I think of pulling the club through with kind of my left hand. I don't want a whole lot of right hand in this, because the right hand is going to kind of flip it, and then it's going to be not very consistent. And for a nice, easy, long chip shot like this, we don't really want that. So again, there we go. We got the perfect lineup. We can choke down a little bit if we like to get a little more control. This. And then the next part is you just want to make sure that you're contacting the ball first. You don't want to hit behind it, and you don't want to hit on top of it. You just want to hit right in the middle with the club hitting the club face and hitting the ball first, like this. Ooh, almost went in. Good shot. Now, what I like to see on this shot, what we're not trying to do is hit the ball up in the air. We don't want to hit it really high in the air. We want to get it on the ground and rolling, basically like a putt, as soon as we can. Shots around the green can be difficult and people struggle with them. So that's why I don't want to use like a 56-degree or a 60-degree wedge. It just makes this shot more difficult. And I'm all about making golf as easy as possible. Golf is a difficult game, and some of these chip shots can be very difficult. But I want to make them as easy as possible, and that's why I like to do what my dad always did, is to use an 8-iron. So what I'll do with this 8-iron, I'll set up to it, I've got the head cover out there, and the head cover is going to represent what my landing spot is. So as you can see, this is like I said, a 30 or 40 foot chip shot, and the club head cover, the head cover is very, very close, just on the green, just about 5 feet. We don't want to hit the ball really close to the pin. We want to make sure that we just get it over this part on the green and get it rolling. So I'll look at where my landing point is, and my landing point will be just left of where that club head is. I'll make sure I set up properly, got my weight a little bit on the left side, take a couple practice swings, and then go ahead and hit it. So that was pretty good. That was about a foot away. But see how simple and easy that shot is? I don't have to worry about flipping my hands or contacting the ball exactly correctly. And that's what's so nice about this type of shot. You can hit behind it just a little bit. You can hit behind it a little bit, and it still can get up on the green. And I was actually lifted up. So you can hit it behind the ball. You don't have to hit the ball exactly perfectly when you're hitting this type of shot. Like I hit behind it, it still went up for the hole. You could also hit it a little thin like this, and it's still going to get up on the green. And that's what's great about this shot. So again, let's review. 8 iron, pick the right club for the shot, pick your landing point, check your lie, get your feet pointing towards the target at an angle, the ball at the back of your stance, your hands forward, weight a little forward, choke down a little bit, and just kind of have a nice, easy pendulum, almost like a putting stroke for this type of shot, just like this. And then just make sure you hit the ball first when you contact it, just like that. And just see how easy that was. To me, it's just no stress. In fact, that one I hit right in the middle, but a couple of the other ones I didn't even hit in the middle of the club face, but they still went right up by the hole. I'm over in the rough here, the grass is kind of short, but this is a great shot to use if you're in the fairway. And I know I struggle with this sometimes. I know a lot of my students and other people struggle with hitting shots from the fairway. You've got a nice, soft fairway lie, and you're trying to hit like a 60-degree wedge. Well, if you look at the 60-degree wedge, it has that nice, sharp edge. And unfortunately, that makes it very easy to chunk that into the ground. So I'm not a big fan of hitting a long pitch shot like this with a 60-degree. So I just get rid of that. To me, the 8 iron is classic. 8 iron, pitching wedge, 9 iron. It has just a much easier edge on it to hit the ball first, and you don't have a lot of loft on the club, so it's not going to go real high. It's just going to go nice and smooth. And to me, again, it's just such an easy shot. You just keep your hands forward, weight forward, and just kind of hit the back of the ball and let the ball roll up to the hole like that. It's just so easy. Ooh, almost went in. I hope you enjoyed this Lessons with Lemmon. If you did, please like, subscribe, and comment below what you're working on in your game and what you'd like to see on an upcoming episode of Lessons with Lemmon. Cheers, everybody. Have a great day. Like even that one, I did hit the pin, but anyways, maybe that wasn't the best example. An 8 iron, a pitching wedge, or even like a 9 iron. And if you're sitting there and you're, boy.